Hey bloggers, what's up? Hey bloggers, what's up? I'm going to share this with you in ASL. It's about football. We've got two opposing teams. They're hearing teams. The Cardinals versus the opposing team. We've got a deaf guy, absolutely the last pick. We have a couple of halfbacks that are out, injured. One of them broke his legs. On the Cardinals team here, they were saying, man, we've got a halfback who's out. We've really got to get somebody to take his place. And they look over and they see this deaf guy. His uniform doesn't fit right. His helmet's not on right. His jock strap's hanging wrong. And he's thin, stick thin. They had to have a halfback. They really had no choice. So they call the deaf guy over, and he comes running over there, goofy as he could be, and they tell him, they gesture to him, okay, you're going to be over here, you're going to be a halfback. As the hearing team is huddling, he comes over. And this guy, his parents are deaf. Of course, they're waving at him as he's running down the field to join the huddle. We've got the Cardinal team, and they see this guy signing with a couple of people. Of course, they think that's funny. So the ref says, hey, it's time to play ball. So the hearing team's gesturing to each other. Okay. And they're telling the deaf guy, you're gonna be right next to the fullback. Okay, you're gonna get the ball. You gotta make sure you block. You're the halfback. The deaf guy was so excited. Like I said, none of his outfit or his uniform didn't fit him right, neither did his helmet. The quarterback gives him the ball. The deaf guy grabs the ball as the halfback and he starts to run. Here we have a defensive lineman who comes and just pummels him, driving him into the ground. This happened to him twice. So the referee called a timeout because the guy was injured, called a 10-second timeout. So we got the hearing football player, the defensive lineman, standing over the deaf guy as he's laying down, and he's mocking him with his signs. And the deaf guy, he had been signing, I love you, and so the hearing guy goes, yeah, I love you not. And about that time, the deaf man's face started twitching, his neck started bulging, his head got big, his eyes bulged out, his muscles began to bulge out. He was busting through his uniform. His entire body was morphing. He had become the Deaf Hulk. And he stood up and he gestured, hey, you want to play ball? You want to play ball? And the hearing guy said, no, I don't. So he grabs the deaf guy, he grabs the hearing defensive player and says, hey, let's play some ball. Steam is coming out of his nose. He looks like a bull. He's peeling back the grass with his cleats. He's ready to play. Smoke is coming out of his nose. The quarterback hands off the ball. And as the Deaf Hulk is running, he breezes right past the defensive line, shaking them to their very fiber of their beings. And as he charges down the field, he breezes past that there are two defensive linemen who are running after him, coming towards him at either side. He stiff arms the one defensive lineman, smashing his helmet into his face and blood spilling out, and he falls to the ground. He comes crashing to the ground, and as he does, his cleat comes flying off. And the other defensive lineman comes to tackle him, and he stiff arms him as well. And not only when he stiff arms him, he grabs him by his arm, and he throws him down like a rag doll. And he comes crashing to the ground. And the Deaf Hulk continues to burn rubber down the field. The ground is vibrating just like if there were an earthquake. The other defensive lineman stands in front of him and gestures to him, "Come here, come here." And the deaf Hulk is running and he collides with him. And the defensive lineman was hit full force and was pummeled into the ground. His face being mashed all the while. And the deaf Hulk man continues to run in slow motion, and it looks like this. Saliva flying from his mouth, his eyes wide open, one pounding step after the other. Down the field he charges. Finally, touchdown. He pummels over the defensive line like a bowling ball hitting pins, and strike, they're down. The parents of the deaf guy were astounded, and they cheered for their son. And then all of a sudden, his body morphs back to the skinny, young, deaf ball player that he was before. And as he stands with the football like a trophy, the crowd cheers. Deaf can do it. Deaf out, deaf power, peace.